We are entering a new era for football cards.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Defensive player has broken a football card record here on the Quest. This defensive player has sold more rookie cards in a buy it now format on the largest marketplace for football cards, eBay, than a lot of quarterbacks, most other skill position players.
Great Scott!
All but really one, maybe two quarterbacks from the 2020 draft class over this past weekend. So, I mean, we've got some incredible takeaways from week 5 of NFL action. We've got a new front runner for NFL MVP after 5 weeks. We've got a couple guys that are very neck and neck. We're going to talk about that. We're going to break down the biggest takeaways. I scoured thousands of recently sold buy it now football cards from over the weekend. And I'm talking, guys, there were thousands of different rookie cards sold in a buy it now format. That means that somebody intentionally went to eBay to purchase that player's rookie card immediately, right then and there. So that's where our focus is going to be when we talk about each one of these matchups from Sunday. So let's dig in. All right, so first looking at the Rams beating the Seahawks on Thursday night in what was a very good matchup, guys. However, Russell Wilson was injured in this game. He jacked up his middle finger really good. This one, I'm not, just showing you guys. Jacked it up really good. He's expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Geno Smith is his replacement. You look at his athletic profile, his best comparable comparing college efficiency metrics and workout athletic metrics, his best comparable player is Derek Carr. So not terrible. I think there's a little bit of promise there. He actually showed some pretty decent ability in the game for Russell Wilson whenever he came in, some athleticism, making some first downs, but then he threw a very costly interception at the end of the game. You look at this game, DK Metcalf had a very big game. He was able to find pay dirt twice. It was very much a DK Metcalf game for the Seattle Seahawks. And looking at his buy it now solds from that game, he had about 75. So that shows you that DK is still very much demanded. It's yet to be seen what this is going to do to his rookie cards. I think, if anything, this may negatively impact the rookie card values of DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and any of those other supporting skill position players on the Seattle Seahawks, unless Geno Smith can come out and light things up. I mean, we've seen the football card market be very much driven based on the production of these players on the field. Now, I'll give you more examples of why I say that. On the other side, Robert Woods had a monster game, a big game. He was the most targeted wide receiver. He had the most receiving yards. And Robert Woods had 0 sales leading up into this game. You look at October 5th and October 6th, he had 0 sales. That was Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Thursday night, he had 39 buy it now sales from Thursday night till Sunday. So right there is a very good indication of performance-driven demand with rookie cards. All right, so we fast forward to Sunday, and we've got a game in London Sunday morning at 9:30 a.m., and it's kind of a dumpster fire game between the Jets and the Atlanta Falcons. Both teams very much struggling in their divisions. Jets in the bottom of the AFC and the Falcons in the bottom of the NFC. And the Falcons actually came to play, man, with no Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley missed the plane, did not make it to the game, and Matt Ryan was able to get going. Matt Ryan reaching elite Hall of Fame probability status with his 5,000 completions that he reached in this game. And he did have 11 buy it now solds on Sunday. His prices are still very reasonable, but when you look at his Hall of Fame status, Matt Ryan is up there. I mean, he is definitely, it looks like, going to be a lock for the Hall of Fame just based on his stats alone. Some very impressive stats thus far in his career, and you got to think he still has some time left in the league. But Kyle Pitts had a big game here. He had the best game of his rookie season so far, and he had approximately 200 buy it now solds on 1010. You notice some really cool cards like the downtown and the on campus and this portrait style prestige that they're claiming is a case hit. It's a very cool artistic rendition. You'll notice as we go through this video, I highlight this portrait style case hit from a variety of these 2021 athletes that had very good weekends, because I've noticed that this is a popular card for collectors and investors for these 2021 athletes. And Kyle Pitts had a nice little record of his own on Sunday morning in London, the most receiving yards in a game by a rookie in London. With the Falcons win, they go 2-3, 27-0 over the Jets. And I want you guys to notice that this card right here from Chronicles, this 2021 Chronicles Optic rated rookie of the pro player in their college uniform, is actually selling for the same as their base donruss. And you're going to see this trend continue throughout this video with these other 2021 athletes that we're going to talk about. Cordell Patterson had another nice game. Again, he was way more involved this time in the rushing game. He had more rushing attempts than Mike Davis, and he was basically their wide receiver too, and his buy it nows increased. He had another nice week of buy it now solds. 15 buy it now solds, some nice graded cards this time. You can see people are putting more money into him as he is an elite fantasy producer. Moving on to the Vikings, barely squeaking out a win against the Lions. And what was a grinder, very much a defensive battle, and the Lions just barely lost this game. Greg Joseph hit a game-winning 54-yard field goal as time expired. The Vikings go on 2-3. The Lions 0-5. Unfortunately, the Lions are the only winless team in the NFC this season, but they have nowhere to go but up. I mean, they've started 0-5 for the first time since 2015 when they were 7-9, and we know the Lions have historically had bad losing records. You look on the other side, though, I mean, a lot of it was they weren't able to cover Justin Jefferson. I mean, Justin Jefferson is just doing his thing, right? He had 100-plus receiving yards for the 9th time in his career. Only Hall of Famer Randy Moss had more such games among Minnesota players in their first 2 seasons. And he has 5-plus receptions in 8 straight games, the longest Minnesota streak since Adam Thielen in 2017-18. And before I touch on Justin Jefferson's rookie card, let's look at DeAndre Swift quickly, because he had a great game. He's very explosive, young running back. He's one of the bright spots on the Detroit Lions, and he had 14 buy it now sold on Sunday, which is pretty impressive for a player that is on a team that's 0-5, right? And you can see people are paying $40 for his base Prism PSA 9. There's a dual patch with him with Barry Sanders on it, numbered out of 5. Someone paid around $150, $164, and his Silver Prism Auto going for around $90. Some very nice sales. But looking at Justin Jefferson, he had close to 100 buy it now solds, all sorts of different kinds and levels. You know, being recognized with Randy Moss again is very good for his career, his outlook. This guy is an incredibly sure-handed receiver, and you can see people are willing to invest as much as, you know, several $100s into Justin Jefferson. Here's a number out of 225 RPA for 175 roughly. His optic hollow getting up to, here in a buy it now, $40 someone paid for his optic hollow, and someone really went deep here on a PSA 10 red cracked ice Prism rookie card with the on-card Justin Jefferson auto for, you know, around $1,200, $1,300. All right, moving on to the Saints getting a bounce-back win against the Washington football team, and a game where Alvin Kamara went off. Jameis Winston had a great game. He made a couple incredible highlight plays, a Hail Mary to down the field to an entire group of players, and Marquez Callaway jumps up and high points the ball for an incredible touchdown. The Saints come away with a win in this game, and Alvin Kamara has 50-plus rushing yards and 50-plus receiving yards for the 12th time in his career. No other player in New Orleans history has more than 7 such games. Alvin Kamara has 2-plus touchdowns for the 19th time in his career. No other player has more than 15 such games in New Orleans history. So he's becoming a New Orleans Hall of Fame running back. Jameis Winston had 20 buy it now sold. So people aren't completely, I think, sold on him. Plus his average resale value has gone up. So he had 20 sold. I mean, you see that people are dumping quite a bit of money in some very rare BGS 9.5 National Treasures, RPA. Marquez Callaway getting some more sales yesterday, of course, based on the fact that Marquez Callaway was printed in very limited sets. These are your options for Marquez Callaway. It's either a Prism Draft Picks autograph or it's a rookie Contenders rookie ticket auto. And so he only had 2 buy it now solds yesterday, but also back in the preseason, this same rookie ticket auto up at the top here was pretty much a $100 card, and this Prism Draft Picks auto was a $60 to $70 card after that big boom game he had with Jameis Winston in the preseason. So I'm sure a lot of people that either have their cards listed or are holding their cards aren't willing to part with it for less than what they paid for it, so they're willing to hold on to that card to see if he'll continue his alpha wide receiver 1 presence in that offense, what the Saints are going to do down the stretch here. As Michael Thomas gets healthy and Traquan Smith gets healthy, what is that Saints offense going to look like? Alvin Kamara had 14 buy it now solds. Solid average resale value for Alvin Kamara. His light blue Prism numbered out of $199, about $250 in the SGC 10 format. His base Donruss still selling around $5.50, but his more rare stuff like this limited numbered out of $299 RPA going for around $125, or even his Prism camo numbered out of $25. That is I feel like a fairly good deal someone got there, paying around $60 for that card. On the other side, Antonio Gibson found pay dirt. He played through that shin stress fracture that apparently he's got. It didn't really seem to slow him down a whole lot. He was one of the bright spots on this offense. Heineke, he struggled yesterday. Heineke definitely struggled yesterday. And Saints defense played really well, man. They were able to keep them in check, but Gibson found pay dirt. He only had 10 buy it now solds. And whenever I looked at his buy it now solds, I found a Prism Silver that someone accepted a best offer on, maybe around $7.50, $8. And that is just way too low, in my opinion. Antonio Gibson right now is definitely a buy low candidate. Moving on to the Patriots beating the Texans in a game that was incredibly close. And the Patriots came up with a few key stops at the end of the game because Davis Mills was picking apart the Patriots, looking like a general on the field, almost slayed the Patriots in this game. And, historically, rookie QBs are 1-11 since 2014 versus New England, and Davis Mills was so close to changing the script, rewriting the script. He did what he could. He had 141.7 passer rating in this game, the highest by a rookie quarterback in a game in Texans history. So even better than Deshaun Watson. It was absolutely incredible. And by doing this, he was actually compared to Russell Wilson as the only rookie QB with 3+ passing touchdowns in a game versus the Patriots in a Belichick era since the year 2000. An incredible metric, 21 for 29, 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And thanks to this performance, or as an effect of this performance, he had 175 buy it now solds on Sunday. The base Donruss selling for under 5, but people are dropping left and right on autographs and rare cards, college and pro uniform, between $20 and $150 average sale price. His college rookie ticket for $19.99. His Chronicles rated rookie autographed in a college uniform for $25. Right here, you can see the one-touch effect. I highlighted again for you. Here's a base Donruss in the one-touch that sold for approximately $5. Best offer accepted, probably around $5, plus $6.38 shipping from Canada, compared to a raw, no one-touch Davis Mills selling for $1 plus 95-cent shipping. We look at the other side of the ball. Mac Jones coming away with the win here. Yeah, Mac Jones 23 for 30. Very good completion percentage, but only 231 yards. A very balanced offense. One touchdown, one interception. Very good game manager. This guy does exactly what Bill Belichick wants him to do, and Josh McDaniels. And he's fitting in great into their system. You can see that he relied heavily on Hunter Henry in this game, spread the ball around a lot. Jacoby Myers, Nelson Aguilar, John U. Smith, and the running game, 14 carries for Damian Harris, 11 for Ramondre Stevenson. Damian Harris finding the end zone. Mac Jones had about 275 buy it now solds for Mac and Cheese Mac Jones. His base Donruss is 4 times as much as Davis Mills because he is on the Patriots. He does come with all that draft capital. He is, on one of the biggest market teams in the NFL. And so his base Donruss is currently at $20. His college base Prism draft picks is at $10, which is pretty wild. This is virtually a $1 card for so many other 2021 athletes, except for a couple. I'll share that with you as we go through this video. But, having about 100 more buy it now sales than Davis Mills. This card right here is absolutely incredible. It's a dual patch of Mac Jones and Najee Harris, numbered 1 out of 1. That sold for $3,000 in a buy it now format yesterday. Someone dropping that money. There's that portrait style that you saw for Kyle Pitts selling for around $45. Mac Jones is selling for 4 times as much, around $200. Probably best offer accepted around $180. And the reason why I don't go to 130 point, it doesn't delineate between auctions and buy it nows, and it's very time consuming for me to go and hunt through that whenever I can filter out just the buy it nows on eBay and get what I want. And based on my experience, all of the buy it nows, best offers accepted, are all within 80 to 90% anyways. So if you want to take a worst case scenario, someone accepted 175, but somewhere between 175 and 200, I can guarantee you that. All right, moving on to the OG Tom Brady, the OG Patriots slayer from the Patriots Belichick era. Tom Brady putting on a clinic in Tampa. That was a fun game to watch. Set his own career record. I didn't realize, I thought for sure he had passed for over 400 yards and 5+ passing touchdowns in a single game. But no, this was the first time in his career. Antonio Brown had a monster game. Mike Evans had 2 touchdowns. So, breaking down that action, Tom Brady, his rookie card goes all the way back to year 2000, Y2K. He had almost 60 buy it now solds. All of his rookie cards are on the table, guys. Bought and sold. Cards in his college uniform, cards in his high school uniform, cards in his practice jersey, cards from Upper Deck, cards from SPX, cards from Quantum Leaf, cards from Score. Any Tom Brady official rookie card or any Tom Brady rookie card from the year 2000 is going to be a liquid card if it's in good shape. This one I did go look up because this is an HGA 4.5, but this is one of Tom Brady's grail cards right here. This is a playoff contenders with a rookie auto on it, and the auto was graded a 10, which most autographs are if it's authentic, and the quality of the card though was only a 4.5. This card still sold for $20,000 on Sunday, or actually today, Monday morning. You look at his raw base Bowman selling for $1,000. This is probably pretty much his kind of gold standard card. Very iconic card right here. PSA 9 format. Go ahead and triple that. It's selling for $3,300. Now, I want to look at the Hall of Fame status of Antonio Brown because he is the fastest player in NFL history to reach 900 receptions in just 143 games. This is incredible because he's in a league of his own. He has 100 plus receiving yards and 1 plus receiving touchdown for the 29th time since 2013, which is the most such games in the NFL in that span. So Antonio Brown is practically a lock for the Hall of Fame at this point. And at the same token, the same regard, Mike Evans is in Bucs Hall of Fame status, rapidly climbing up the overall NFL wide receiver Hall of Fame chart. He has 2 plus receiving touchdowns for the 14th time in his career. This is the most such game in Tampa Bay history. Mike Evans had 17 buy it now solds yesterday. And you look at his Hall of Fame status, he's right around Devontae Adams, Emmanuel Sanders, Michael Thomas. And I'm personally, for biased reasons, a Tampa Bay fan and more bullish on investing in Mike Evans than those guys, especially Devontae Adams, who's in the same draft year. And he's potentially going to lose Aaron Rodgers after this year, most likely. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Definitely, if you have Devontae Adams' card, I'd be looking to hold them, kind of sell them as the Packers progress through their season here, potentially into the playoffs. But Antonio Brown, 24 buy it now solds from his 2010 draft year, with him going very late in the draft. Yeah, very late in the draft, picked in the 6th round of the 2010 draft from Central Michigan. And nothing was great about his college resume other than the fact that he broke out at age 19.2, which puts him in the 86th percentile. Antonio Brown being pretty much a lock for the Hall of Fame, I feel, is another good investment. Cards numbered out at 199 with the on-card auto for $50. I feel someone got a great deal there. Or even this card of Antonio Brown, his college uniform, but it's autographed. It's numbered out at $499 for $125. You know, this rated rookie from 2010 of Antonio Brown's a very popular one. You see a ton of sales from that. Also, the Score is another very popular entry-level card of Antonio Brown from 2010. You know, in a graded format. Here, a GMA 10 even selling for $40.50. Almost a 4X increase over what the raw card in a pretty good picture. Looks like maybe there's some little bit of corner wear on that, but for $9.45. There's a PSA 10, though, going for double of what the GMA is. You can see that selling for $100. And, though, on the same day as a BGS 9.5, also going for around $100. What's interesting is that the BGS 9.5 here sold for more than what that PSA 10 sold for. Yeah, that's interesting, but I think that the BGS 9.5 is considered very much comparable neck and neck with the PSA 10 these days. So, yeah, I mean, a PSA 9 for 30, PSA 9 on the rated rookie for around 50. This is a ton of sales. Even these autographs numbered out of these Donruss Elite Turn of the Centuries got some chrome finish to them. They're numbered out of $4.99. They were selling for $65 yesterday. I feel like it's a great card. On the other side of the ball, though, in that game, Myles Gaskin did have a really good game. Myles Gaskin is the first running back in Miami history with 10-plus receptions and 2-plus receiving touchdowns in a game. Myles Gaskin's score in the third quarter was the 4th receiving touchdown in his last 7 games. And he had 0 in his first 15 career games. Myles Gaskin is having a great season so far and being a pretty solid fantasy producer on a week-in, week-out basis. I was able to document a few sales, only roughly 4 or 5 sales for him. Cards are very inexpensive right now. Definitely a buy low candidate just based on his fantasy production. All right, let's look at the Cincinnati Bengals losing to the Green Bay Packers in overtime, and I have to chuckle about this game because these guys were missing kicks left and right. Mason Crosby was having one of those days, man, where when it came down to it, he could not seem to make a kick, overtime. And it was hilarious because the rookie McPherson for the Bengals had a chance to win the game a couple times as well, and he missed a couple kicks, including one in the overtime where he thought he made it, and he was celebrating like he made it, and then completely embarrassed because, in fact, he missed it. It was so close. It hit the little flag hanging off the top of the upright. And finally, Mason Crosby makes the kick at the end of overtime to finally win the game. And, in fact, I didn't realize this, but this was Green Bay's first road win versus Cincinnati since week 3 of 1998. And so looking at Aaron Rodgers reaching new Hall of Fame highs in his career here, he has surpassed Phillip Rivers for the 5th most passing touchdowns in NFL history. Devontae Adams, who's the recipient of a lot of those touchdowns, has surpassed Jordy Nelson for the 3rd most games with 100-plus receiving yards for a Green Bay player since 1950. Absolutely in that Green Bay Hall of Fame. Something in the air. There were 5 missed kicks in this game in the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter overtime for the first time since 1991 when play-by-play data became available. Jamar Chase, though, is the young stud. Jamar Chase is basically, in my opinion, this year's Justin Jefferson, this year's CeeDee Lamb. He has joined Hall of Fame Randy Moss, going back to 1998, as the only players in Super Bowl era that were 21 or younger with 5-plus receiving touchdowns in their team's first 5 games of a season. That Joe Burrow-Jamar Chase connection is strong, man. Mason Crosby saved his job with that game-winning kick. There's a very scary play in this game where Joe Burrow thought he was a running back and broke a run to the outside, tried to go upfield to get that first down. Man, he wanted that first down so bad. And, man, he took quite a blow, got slammed to the ground. He was down for a minute. He left the game, but he came back in. He did go to the hospital after the game last night for a throat contusion that they said happened on another play. He was released. He said he's going to be okay. He was just having a hard time speaking. I guess someone poked him in the throat. But, I mean, came back in this game, went on to light Jamar Chase up for a very nice touchdown. And Jamar Chase is the 3rd rookie since 1950 with 50-plus receiving yards in each of their team's first 5 games of a season. He's also the first rookie in Bengals history with 1-plus receiving touchdown in 4 of the team's first 5 games of a season. And looking at Joe Burrow's sales from Sunday, he had approximately 400 buy it now solds. But what's interesting is you have to be careful. I've already noticed people are starting to make reprints and stickers of Joe Burrow, particularly these very iconic popular cards like the Downtown. So just be very wary when you're looking at Joe Burrow cards. There's also many mislisted items. People putting Joe Burrow in the description for virtually any 2020 product to grab people's attention. And yuck. I don't like people reprinting Downtowns and stuff like that. It's just not good for business. I'm not a fan of that at all. Looking at Jamar Chase's 2021 product, the dude had approximately 350 total buy it now solds from yesterday. More than Mac Jones, more than General Mills. Incredible amount of sales for the rookie, as he is, next to Najee Harris, the hottest 2021 rookie this season. Aaron Rodgers tops. You have to be very wary about Aaron Rodgers reprints. There are definitely reprints. This does make me a little concerned when buying raw Aaron Rodgers cards. You definitely want to check those seller reviews and those seller ratings, because there's a chance that it could be a reprint, guys. People making stickers and reprints, it's just no bueno. But you have to be cognizant of it. You have to be aware of it so you don't get bit by that reprint bug. I mean, most of the times, most of us are not going to. I think in some cases, if someone's brand new or if it's a kid that's looking to buy Aaron Rodgers card, maybe they're not aware because they're not used to seeing what the normal Aaron Rodgers cards are selling for. They're just not aware of kind of our standards in the hobby or the price points of different cards of what to look for. Certainly want to do my part, my responsibility to make you guys aware of this stuff, that this stuff does exist. People are doing this, that you need to definitely just be cautious of it. So certainly his graded cards are going to go for considerably more than what the raw ones are. That's part of the reason. This one was really cool with a Green Bay like little foam cheese head helmet built into the card, a numbered out of 199 with an autograph on it, selling for almost $1,000, $955 from Aaron Rodgers. Really cool card. Someone went deep for that. Here's his basically his gold standard is this Topps Chrome from 2005. This card in a PSA 9 format selling for $1,100. In comparison to Aaron Rodgers, who had 40 buy it now solds, Devontae Adams had approximately 50 buy it now solds, ranging from an average of $15 to $20. Some prices not too bad. I really find this interesting. This tall boy from 2014, numbered out of 150 with an on-card auto, sold for around $80 because I recently, you'll see in an upcoming mail day, may or may not have picked up a Mike Evans of this card in a PSA 10 format, and you'll have to just wait and see for the price point that I got it for. This Bowman's Chrome, Bowman's Best Die Cut is a popular card. That's all around $15, but then you get into the autograph stuff, especially graded, and that is going to send that card into triple digits. Here's a PSA 10 of that same Prism for $300 is a great example of the difference between a PSA 8 and a PSA 10 of the same card. And huge difference, right? Huge difference. Just goes to show you with that card from 2014, that Prism is very difficult card to get a PSA 10, so that is a low population card. And there's a lot of PSA 10 collectors out there, people that will just search PSA 10 and start from there. Joe Burrow had approximately 400 buy it now solds on Sunday, between Sunday and Monday morning. His base Prism's going for around 40. Prism Black going for around 50. There's a reprint downtown for 25. I still feel that there's value to be had on Joe Burrow rookie cards, certain ones. I like this Mosaic Silver debut. This is a fairly short print card, fairly rare card for $15.99. That's a very good deal someone got there. When in comparisons, people are paying $120 for a PSA 10 base Donruss. People are still buying Joe Burrow's college uniform card as well. His base field level going for around 40. That card short print in of itself as in a base format. His rookie ticket auto, though, is now getting significantly expensive. That is not a numbered card, selling for $1,100. Here's another one-touch effect for you guys of a base Prism Joe Burrow in the one touch, selling for $69. Best offer accepted, probably around $60 compared to the base Prism Raw not in a one touch, selling for around $40. And here you can see the Jamar Chase, who had a impressive amount of sales Sunday and Monday morning of 350. People buying that prestige portrait style card for around $100. More Chronicles optics, rated rookies. People loving that card. That card arguably selling better than his base Donruss rated rookie. Here's another startup grading company that I noticed. This Ruffigans, and I look like all his cards are graded 10. It looks like he's grading his own cards and selling them, and people are surprisingly paying a little bit more for them than other cards. I'm moving on to part 2 of the Week 5 breakdowns because there was so much action to break down. Incredible, right? The Broncos losing to the Steelers. The Steelers getting a much-needed bounce-back victory, man. Najee Harris, the 4th Pittsburgh rookie with 120-plus rushing yards, touchdown in a game since 1970. Big Ben having a big bounce-back day here. Nice touchdown pass to Chase Claypool, making some nice deep throws. Silenced a lot of critics in this game, and he had 13 solds. For a 2004 rookie card, that's pretty impressive. I think that his rookie card values are fairly low considering his Hall of Fame status. Much like Matt Ryan, they are considerably lower than, obviously a Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, but even looking at some of these younger guys like Joe Burrow. But, 13 souls, the Steelers get a much needed victory, 2-3. Najee had roughly 200 buy it now solds. Chronicles optic rated rookie of Najee in that Alabama uniform in the base format are selling for more than his base Donruss consistently, which I find very interesting. I think it's because of the design of this card is very similar to the 2018 optic. It's got a chrome finish to it. I think those are some things that make it, and it's got the rated rookie logo, and we see that optic logo. I think that's what's creating it to sell for more than his base Donruss rated rookie. Juju left with an injury in this game. Juju Smith-Schuster is done for the year with a shoulder injury. Chase Claypool, who had a solid game, great athlete from the 2020 year, had 50 buy it now solds from this game. He is currently a buy low candidate, if you ask me. Deontay Johnson, who's arguably their wide receiver one in this new offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers, had 11 buy it now solds. On the other side, Teddy Bridgewater struggled in this game against Pittsburgh's defense, still very good. He only had 4 buy it now solds on Sunday. Cortland Sutton had an incredible touchdown grab, an incredible highlight from Teddy Bridgewater, and a solid fantasy production on the day. Had 7 buy it now solds from Sunday. Some decent prices, ranging anywhere from $10, $15 for his base Prism or one of those short print Prism parallels to, $100+ for his short print autograph cards. Looking at the Eagles and the Panthers, the Eagles barely squeak out this victory, man. Philly's defense had 3 interceptions in this game. They karate kicked Sam Darnold right in the face, man. Karate kicked the Panthers in the face in this game to really help the Eagles get the win because Jalen Hurts struggled passing the ball in this game considerably until the end. He had a huge throw to Quez Watkins coming into the end of the game, made a couple big plays with his legs, 2 rushing touchdowns. One of them was a QB sneak. The other one, though, was a nice bootleg to the outside that he took in. And Darius Slay, another nice interception, another solid game from Darius Slay. He's climbing up that Hall of Fame status. And so I looked up his rookie cards. He did have a few sales. Buy it now solds yesterday, but nothing compared to the Cowboys 2020 rookie defensive back, none other than Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs getting another interception in this game, guys, and they absolutely stomped the Giants. Now, before we go into how many rookie card sales Trayvon Diggs had Sunday and this morning, let's talk about the injury to Saquon Barkley, a low ankle sprain, and also a concussion to Daniel Jones, and also an injury to Kenny Golladay. It looks like a knee injury to Kenny Golladay. So the Giants were riddled with injuries in this game. In fact, Ezekiel Elliott almost was injured in this game as he landed awkwardly on one of those yardage poles on the sideline. Just a really freak landing, must have pinched a nerve in his back. But he came back in. This is the anniversary of the Dak Prescott injury, and Dak lit him up. Man, CeeDee Lamb had a good game. Amari Cooper had a good game. Ezekiel Elliott had a good game. Dalton Schultz. And so Cowboys go on to win this game 44-20. Their defense, though, gets a big spotlight because Trayvon Diggs getting another interception in this game. That's the longest interception streak for a Dallas defensive back since 1970. And Trayvon Diggs, boom, guys, this is a huge takeaway, had approximately 300 buy it now solds and his cards are going for a considerable amount of money, guys. Yeah, his pink Prism autos are selling for around $90. His autograph Alabama college uniform card selling for around $40. And this is this morning, Monday morning. His Panini Contenders rookie ticket auto pro uniform selling for around $90, guys. Is numbered out of 120 or numbered out of 25 college uniform Spectra autograph selling for around 90. His optic pink, just short print, or his optic hollow. His optic hollow is selling for $20. Buy it now consistently. His autograph cards are selling for around $100 consistently. His Prism short print cards are selling for anywhere between $10 and $20. His Prism silver autograph cards selling for $160. People are spending a considerable amount of money on Trayvon Diggs. He's also seen an incredible amount of sales volume. So it shows you that defensive players are very much viable investments in the hobby.
There's a lot of things about Diggs, though, that makes him very interesting. Obviously, he's intercepting the football at an absolutely insane rate. He's also doing this on the most popular team that just happens to be winning. He also happens to be the younger brother of another NFL star, and he also happened to play with the most legendary college football program, as much as I hate to say it, the Alabama Crimson Tide, and he had that really viral quote about Nick Saban. So Diggs is as big of like a hotshot defensive star you could possibly get, and his interception rate is not going to be the same. It's going to regress at some point. So we're not us being excited about defensive players. We want to warn everyone that we don't think that defensive players are the next quarterbacks. We don't think defensive players are going to sell like a Julio Jones or whatnot. But it is our main point, Andy, here is that it is exciting to see that a defensive player like Diggs is doing something right now we really haven't seen a young defensive player do.
And I didn't touch on the fact that Jalen Hurts, had almost 100 buy it now solds from the game, and I still like investing in Hurts. I'm not so convinced that the play calling, and he's pretty much like a rookie quarterback this year. So you got to give these rookies some time to develop. They all have their struggling moments. So I'm still not out. He found a way to win this game. Defense helped a lot, and I'm still bullish on him long term. I'm not giving up on him yet, Wayne. So, but that Philadelphia defense is good. They are a real deal. And from this Cowboys game, though, going back to the Cowboys game, Dak had approximately 100 buy it now solds from this game, and that's pretty impressive because he is a 2016 rookie. Ezekiel Elliott had about a 40 buy it now sold. So did Tony Pollard. He had another 40 buy it now solds. All of these Cowboys players are on fire, and it's something I've talked about since the beginning of time and the quest, is that market size matters a whole lot. And so you see the sales volume and the demand a lot higher for these guys in the Cowboys, as they are now 4-1, guys, safely in the lead in the NFC East. And there's not a whole lot currently right now in the NFC East to really threaten them to win this division. It's kind of what we're looking at here. So these guys should continue to slowly go up depending on how good they play here in the upcoming weeks. If they can beat the Patriots this coming weekend at 425 in New England, if they can beat the Vikings on Halloween at 820, if they can beat the Broncos then at home. So the next 3 weeks is going to be very decisive, very big for the Dallas Cowboys. If they continue to win, you're going to see values continue to climb on these players. So, or compared to Trayvon Diggs, he had a solid day, but compared to Trayvon Diggs, he only had a third of the buy it now sold. So what does that tell you about demand for good defensive players in this hobby? It's very much there, and it's very, very viable. You can invest in them. You can collect them. You know, the end of the day, what really matters is that you're investing, you're collecting in good players, good athletes. If you're investing, and if you're just collecting, collect whoever the hell you want, right? But CeeDee Lamb's cards, I still feel also have room to grow. When you look at his Black Prism Silver for around 30, or this Mosaic silver refractor that's mosaic for around 20, the base Donruss clearly for 10, or his PSA 10 base Donruss for 100. Amari Cooper even had himself some solds. He had about 20 solds. So pretty interesting cards. People are definitely willing to spend upwards of $150, $200 for his Silver Prism autograph card. This is a BGS 9 Auto 10 that sold for 150. Same card that I sold in a PSA 10 format for 350. So interesting correlation there. Takeaway for you guys. The Titans roll over the Jags. Clearly, Urban Meyer's hands were not in the right spot this weekend again. And we'll see how long he lasts in the league. All jokes aside, seriously, I don't know how serious he's taking this coaching job in the NFL. Clearly, this week was another bad week for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were steamrolled by the Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry had another monster peak performer day, 29 carries, 130 yards, 3 touchdowns. James Robinson had another good day as well, though. 149 yards on 18 carries for 1 touchdown. That Tennessee's defense was gashed up. And James Robinson cards, selling for a considerable amount of money, man. James Robinson still selling based on his fantasy production, his athletic ability. He had about 50 solds, guys. Very impressive, right? Derrick Henry had about 50 buy it now solds as well. His values continue to go up on his cards. When you look at the values, what people are willing to spend on, all the way up to $2,000+ for a very rare National Treasures RPAs. But even a PSA 10 of his base Donruss rated rookie for $175, $20 for a card of him in his college uniform. All right, but one of the biggest storylines from yesterday is the fact that Justin Herbert is on a historic pace right now. He's currently being compared to Patrick Mahomes. Justin Herbert has joined Patrick Mahomes as the only QBs in the Super Bowl era since 1950 with 40-plus passing touchdowns and fewer than 15 interceptions at the same time in their first 20 starts. What he is doing as a second-year player is absolutely incredible. And Baker Mayfield had a really solid day as well. Had 122 passer rating, 306 yards. But Herbert had an even better day. 26 for 43, 398 passing yards, 5 total touchdowns, 122 passer rating, 42.82 fantasy points. Justin Herbert has now surpassed Hall of Fame Kurt Warner for the second most passing yards in a player's first 20 starts in the Super Bowl era. He's also surpassed Hall of Famer Dan Marino and Patrick Mahomes for the most games with 300-plus passing yards in their first 2 seasons. So we're basically looking at a guy that's going to have rookie cards valued at the same as Patrick Mahomes very soon, if not already in certain cards, in certain, comparable cards. I feel that Justin Herbert's cards have not quite reached that. And a lot of people, I think, feel the same way, which even though they're expensive, people went out and bought more than 1,000 buy it now solds for Justin Herbert between yesterday and today. He had by far the most amount of rookie card sales out of anybody from yesterday and today. Absolutely incredible. Over 1,000, guys. In comparison, Austin Eckler, who wasn't printed in much, primarily that select and rookie ticket auto, had 11 printed in limited sets, but still, that's significant when you're only printed in limited sets. Marquez Callaway had 2. Austin Eckler had 11. Mike Williams, huge day from him. Mike Williams had a couple monster receptions from Justin Herbert. Big, deep bomb touchdowns. And Mike Williams had 90 buy it now solds from yesterday and today. Pretty impressive, right? His values continue to rise. He was one of the guys that I highlighted weeks ago, told people to buy as his values continue to go up. And as the Chargers continue to play like this, those values are going to continue to climb as well, man, because you look at his 2017 Prism, that card's only selling for $15 raw right now in a peak market. Now, I know the market as a whole is lower than the point it was last year before the season at that peak time. You look at a guy like comparable Chris Godwin, at the beginning of 2020 season was, that raw card was around $50, $60. Mike Williams right now is around $15 to $20. So these cards are quickly disappearing. These cards, there's just not a ton of them sitting around the marketplace. And with 90 buy it now solds between yesterday and today, people are wanting to take advantage of the current price points that his cards are at as they go jump to that next tier. Just throw that out there. That is happening right now as I talk to you guys. Deals like this are going to be non-existent moving forward. His rookie ticket auto for $30, his Origins auto for $17.99. Absolutely incredible deals. I wish I would have taken advantage of yesterday myself. I took advantage of a couple Mike Williams deals a few weeks ago when I shared him with you guys in that Auction Sniper article. But yeah, I mean, the sales on Mike Williams are lit. 90 buy it now solds. The Bears beat the Raiders in a defensive battle. Man, Khalil Mack had one of the highest PFF grades for a defensive end yesterday. The Mack attack on top, man. Slaying some Derek Carr. Roquan Smith almost broke the car, man. Almost broke the car. Sent the car out of the game for a little bit, but he came back. The Bears really helping out that Bears offense, who, Raiders defense is the real deal. Justin Fields was sacked another handful of times. It was a very quiet day, but not a whole lot of mistakes. 12 for 20, 111 yards, and 1 touchdown. He also rushed the ball 3 times for 4 yards. That was some couple scary runs there. You hate to see these rookie quarterbacks get hurt. Him and Trey Lance, including Trey Lance, already looks like he got injured, sprained his knee in this first game. He had a couple runs that were real scary. Darnell, just a very, very much a defensive battle, guys. And Chicago was just able to squeak out that win, man. Squeak out that win. Khalil Mack had 17 buy it now solds from 2014. 17 buy it now solds is pretty considerable from 2014. Compare that to Devontae Adams, who had approximately 50, or Mike Evans, who had 17. Khalil Mack right there at 17 buy it now solds yesterday and this morning. Pretty impressive, right, guys? And his rookie card values are right there with those offensive skill position players, which is very exciting. The Arizona Cardinals defense stepped up big time yesterday for them in a win over the 49ers, able to hold that rookie quarterback in check, put pressure on him, force him to make some mistakes. He is a rookie after all. In a game where the San Francisco defense played really pretty well, they were able to hold Arizona to just 3 points in the second quarter, no points in the third quarter. And they finally scored. DeAndre Hopkins having him a nice little grab there. And, Kyler Murray's cards just quietly continue to climb. He had a variety of rookie card sales from yesterday and today. So did DeAndre Hopkins. James Conner had him a couple sales getting involved there. The rookie had, Trey Lance had a couple hundred sales based off of the excitement. But he also, definitely struggled in this game. But he showed some really nice runs with his legs, man. That was like, ooh, yeah, that's definitely why they drafted him. He's athletic. He's got a cannon for an arm. Kyler Murray didn't make any mistakes, so I still think he's right there in the front runner for MVP consideration with Kyler Murray, with Justin Herbert, with Tom Brady. And then the Bills, man. The Bills, I don't even know if you call it an upset because technically the Chiefs came into this game as slight underdogs, man. That Bills defense is for real. They were able to drown out Patrick Mahomes in a game that I fell asleep during the halftime in that extended weather delay. And, man, the Bills were able to shut down, man. They were covering players tight, man, and putting pressure on Patrick Mahomes, forcing him to make mistakes. He had a costly interception that squirted through the hands of Tyreek Hill late in the game that turned into a pick six for the Bills. At the same time, Josh Allen had no problem moving the ball down the field to his big tight end, Dawson Knox, or rushing the ball. Emmanuel Sanders had a big game in this game, and so Emmanuel Sanders rookie cards are going up. He had a variety of sales. Dawson Knox, Josh Allen's values are climbing back up from the insane highs that they were at before the season at the end of last season. So, he's still very much in the consideration for MVP, as well as the Bills move to 4-1, guys. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned Kyler Murray has surpassed Hall of Famer Kurt Warner for the second most passing yards for a Cardinals QB in the first 5 games of the season since 1950. And DeAndre Hopkins has surpassed Larry Fitzgerald for the most receptions by a player prior to their 30th birthday in NFL history. So DeAndre Hopkins very much on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Trey Lance had 89 rushing yards, the 4th most by a rookie quarterback in their first NFL start, and now his knee is hurt. So not a good deal, but the Cardinals defense showed up big for them yesterday in that game. Trayvon Diggs has serious ball skills. Can you digs it? Check out these. Check out this sweet 101 I got right here, baby. My daughter made that for me. Got it in the one touch. It's custom. It's custom. You notice the long legs? It's Tom Brady, man. It's Tom Brady. He's been playing football so much, his head has turned into a football. Actually, it's a 4-4. Check it out. Excuse me. Whew, man, I made homemade potato skins tonight. Man, you cut those russet potatoes in half, cook them, like par bake them in the oven, and then like scoop the guts out and fill it with bacon and cheese and sauteed onions. And then put it back in there with some seasoning, and then put some more cheese on top. Bake it again for 15 minutes. Ooh, son, that was fire. Patrick Mahomes, not a happy camper after that game last night, y'all. Not a happy camper at all. Peace.